Grew up outside of Boston in Roxbury. I went to Boston University for my undergraduate School of Fine Arts, and after 3 years I transferred to RISD. Graduated after 1 year and went down to New Orleans to Tulane, where I worked on my MFA in sculpture. I stayed in New Orleans just for 2 years. Came up here to work on my sculpture, and I got a call from somebody at Brown telling me that there was an opening. I came down, applied for the job, got the job, and I came to Brown. That was 1965. I am a professor in the visual art department. My work has ranged from an investigation into nature and communicating through certain kinds of materials, exploring the properties of material, but dealing with those things in nature that I find most fascinating, most mesmerizing. The cycle of life is something that is important to me. Seeing connections between different things that are part of the natural world. And then on the other hand, bringing ideas about the questions that we might ask about our existence, life, death. So those have been the things that have informed my work and still do. The Elm Tree Project, which is in a very poignant sense a question of living and dying. And dying is important to everything in order for new things to be born. So there was an epidemic at Brown of Dutch elm disease. Brown had some of the most beautiful elm trees in the Northeast. There was a huge elm tree on Thayer Street in front of what was the Granoff Center. That tree was about 5 or 6 feet in diameter and about 80, 90 feet tall. Contracted the Dutch elm disease, and it had to be cut down. I had it milled in 2 places. There is a small sawmill in Tiverton, and they did the small limbs that they could handle. But the large trunk, which was 10,000 pounds, 10 feet high, and as I said, almost 5 feet wide, that went to the Berkshires, where there's a large sawmill. I suggested that maybe the tree gets cut but not thrown away, that we save all the parts of the tree. And I would think about designing courses that use the tree. And that's about what I think of as the life that's given back from the tree, from the idea of it, and it encouraged more collaboration with Rhode Island School of Design. But it also gave a place, that studio down at the end of Gano Street. The Talk-Wharton Studio is a laboratory for exploring different ideas and approaches to teaching. That idea evolved into the courses I've been teaching for the past 4 years, called Hybrid Art. And Hybrid Art's goal was to bring students who were in different disciplines, whether it's biology, mathematics, visual art, theater, coming into one space where they would be working on projects that were designed with collaboration in mind. That has enriched what I've been doing as a teacher and as an artist, which again, all comes from the Elm Tree Project. I'm the director of the Creative Arts Council at Brown. And the Creative Arts Council is an organization that my colleagues and I put together to bring all of the arts departments into a kind of coalition, into a community. Those conversations brought about what is now the Granoff Center for the Creative Arts. The Granoff Center was predicated on putting a place together that was unlike any other place at Brown, where people in the arts could do things that they couldn't do other places at Brown. So all of the departments, music, theater, dance, creative writing, literary arts, visual art, modern culture and media, could start to work together in a collaborative fashion. You can do anything in here. And the walls are made so that you can nail into, you can put lag bolts in, you can climb the walls. It was designed for everything that's possible that we can think of. I would say that the majority of my work has been natural materials, whether it's stone, glass, wood. There was a period that I did a lot of steel, so that's the man-made configuration of iron. And I've done a lot of bronze casting too. But it's understanding the properties of the material and then understanding the process that you're using. So you have to have an empathy for both of those things, I think, to get the most out of it. I did a lecture 20 years ago, and the title was Obsessions, Occasionally Interrupted by a Bright Leaf or Other Misread Clue. What that means is that I saw a relentless focus on something, which you could call an obsession. And it's either through focusing mentally on something or focusing physically on something. So those are the obsessions. But occasionally you go down a path which looks interesting, but it's a dead end. So that is a misread clue. You have to go down these paths that may lead nowhere. All of this means that it's the process of creating that has been the driving force and continues to be the driving force and the driving question. The piece in the end is physical. Ideas are forever. How do we follow our intuition? How do we make connections between things? How do you find the meaning? How do you give yourself permission to fail? And all of it is about life. It's about creating. And that's what interests me.